According to Axios, North Korea is the least free country in the world. Of course, North Korea is run by a brutal dictator, Kim Jong Un. But one of the main reasons as to why it has such little freedom is because of their prison camps. North Korea has a situation where if you commit a crime, your entire family goes to prison. These are known as re-education camps. Around 2,000 people are sent to these camps every single year, and 90% of the time, the prisoners are in there for their entire lives. But with all these prisoners, who guards them? Well, they're known as the North Korean Security Forces. These are the thousands of guards who guard the prisoners at the re-education camps. And they have some really scary and strict rules they have to follow. We know these rules from Lim Hae-jin, who is an escaped former North Korean prison camp guard. I'm Charlie, and today we're going to look at crazy rules North Korean prison guards have to follow. But before we get locked up, subscribe and press the notification bell too. No escape. The first rule of being a North Korean prison guard is do not let anyone escape. As footage has shown, it's hard enough to escape North Korea, which is a crime in itself. But the only thing worse than that is trying to escape from a North Korean prison camp. Sometimes the prisoners will try and break out of the prison camp. There are fields all around the camp and they're pretty much in the middle of nowhere. But there have been various successful escapes. The escapees usually flee to South Korea or China. But as a North Korean prison guard, if you let a prisoner escape, you are in big trouble. In fact, it's a crime in itself, as you may have aided the prisoner escaping. Even if you didn't and they simply got away, you may still be blamed and go to prison. According to former North Korean prison guards, this could land you in a re-education camp yourself. And then the shoe will be on the other foot, and the prison guard will become the prisoner. That's why if someone tries to escape, they'll likely just be shot by the North Korean prison guards. They're taught to do this because otherwise it's going to be them behind bars. Payment. You may wonder what motivates someone to be so evil to become a North Korean prison guard. There are various reasons why people do this, for example, psychological manipulation. But another reason is money. North Korea is one of the poorest nations in the world. 60% of the population of North Korea live below the poverty line. North Korea used to get a lot of money from China and also the Soviet Union. But after the Soviet Union collapsed, this money dried up. The government also used to give people food. They don't do this anymore because they spend too much money on their nuclear weapons programs. This means that being a prison guard is a pretty good gig. The salary ranges from $1,433 to $2,149 a year. That is higher than the average wage in North Korea. And North Korean prison guards also get extra money from families of prisoners. Sometimes they're corrupt and will accept money in exchange for letting people out of prison. And sometimes things are smuggled into the prisons, for example, cell phones from China. Sympathy manipulation. Another reason why North Korean prison guards are so brutal is because they're manipulated themselves. Lim Hae-jin, a former prison guard, says his government lied to him and manipulated him. He said, "We were manipulated to not feel any sympathy for the prisoners. We were told they'd committed terrible crimes, but now I know they were normal people, I feel very guilty." He also said he feels betrayed by the leaders who lied to him. "We were told not to see these people as humans, now I feel traumatized." So the people who trained the North Korean guards pretty much tell them to not see the prisoners as humans. They also don't tell them the crimes of the people behind bars. They tell them that the prisoners have done the worst crimes imaginable, when in reality it's not true. The prisoners in these camps are mostly people who criticize the government. There are also people who are deemed politically unreliable, for example South Korean prisoners of war. Also Christians and returnees from Japan. And even a few former senior party members of the North Korean government. So before the guards go to work at the re-education camps, they're re-educated themselves. Smuggling. One strict rule that North Korean prison guards must follow but sometimes don't is no smuggling. North Korea is pretty much cut off from the entire world. They trade with almost no countries because there's embargoes and sanctions all over the place. Also, North Korean mobile phones are blocked from making or receiving international calls. But when you're a higher ranking person than average, for example a prison guard, you can get around these laws. Sometimes they can make trips into China and smuggle in mobile phones. And for that, they charge a fee which gains the prison guards even more money. This is illegal, and if they were caught doing it, they would be sent to a prison camp themselves. But because money is so tight in North Korea, some take the risk anyway. Also, some prisoners in the camps have wealthy or powerful family and friends. For example, purged members of the North Korean government. So sometimes things are smuggled in for those prisoners by the prison guards. The prisoners' families will pay the guards, and in exchange, they'll smuggle in things like phones and anything else. This is a good but risky way that North Korean prison guards supplement their income. Even in North Korea, you have to have a side hustle. Life-taking. I've already covered that before prison guards go to work, they're taught to not see the prisoners as human beings. One former prison guard named Ang Mon-chol described how this works. He said camp guards are taught that prisoners are factionalists and class enemies. So that's why they have to be destroyed like weeds down to their roots. Based on this, the guards may take a prisoner's life at any time if they don't obey their orders. If a prisoner breaks a rule, then a security officer can decide whether or not to take that prisoner's life. Anne even said he'd taken the lives of 31 people himself. These 31 people were from 5 families, and it was all because one member of one family tried to escape. So basically, if any rule is broken, then the prison guards can take the prisoner's life and their entire family's life too. 24/7 shifts. In prison camps, people live there 24/7, and in North Korea's largest camp, Hurryong prison camp, there are 50,000 prisoners. This means that there has to be lots of guards on hand at all times. The guards pretty much live like prisoners. They have much nicer bedrooms and they also get more food. The prisoners have to do hard labor between the hours of 5 AM to 8 PM. This will either be in agriculture, mining, or inside factories. And during a 24-hour day, there are 3 shifts of prison guards. This means the prison guards work incredibly long hours. And it's not like these guards can simply go home. These prison camps are located in the middle of nowhere. This is so that if anyone tries to escape, they'll likely pass away before getting back to a town or city. So that's why the prison guards simply have to live in their own quarters and can't go home. They only get a few weeks of holiday every single year. During that time, they can return home to their families. But sometimes they'll simply have a forced relationship with women in the prison camps. Collective punishment. In most countries, if you do a crime, then you go to prison. But in North Korea, that's not how things fly. North Korea has what's known as a guilt by association principle. This means that if you commit a crime, your entire family will be going to prison with you. This includes your wife, children, and elderly relatives. And any children born inside the camp too. There's also collective punishments. For example, the former North Korean guard who admitted to taking the lives of 31 people. These were people from 5 different families, all because one person in one family tried escaping. You may wonder why he took 31 lives for the act of one person. And the reason why is because it scares every other prisoner in the camp. No one wants to break any rules because their entire family will be punished, as well as other families who they may be friendly with. This is a really nasty and brutal way of keeping everyone in line in the prison camp. Based on satellite photos, there are today 6 political prison camps in North Korea. And according to the Washington Post, there could be as many as 130,000 North Koreans in these 4 camps. Let's hope these are soon closed down, but until they're not, we will keep reporting on this. But now it's time to make your voice heard. Vote in the poll in the top right corner. Would you ever visit North Korea as a tourist? If you want some more amazing videos, then check out my second channel. But as always, thank you for watching. There's some more videos you may like on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.